Hello there, welcome to the Joy of Awareness. My name is Tolly Bryn. Today I wanted to talk about hope and discipline. This journey of healing yourself, if you're getting into fasting and if you're simplifying your diet, this is, let's be honest, it's difficult. It's already difficult. You're already sick. You're already dealing with chronic illness, whatever it might be. Like for me, it was topical steroid withdrawal, eczema, allergies, loads of different autoimmune diseases, on various stages, and I felt terrible. And it did take quite a bit of discipline to get me started on this journey, simply because, I was just at the end of my thread. I was just, I was, I was. Let's just say I didn't have much energy to keep going the way I was going. And that's a difficult place to be in, and that's a difficult place to find discipline. The thing is, after getting through the main hurdle of, I did a 10-day fast when I was at my worst, health-wise. I did a 10-day fast, and that fast cleared up maybe 60% of my problems. Like I had huge healing just in those 10 days. And the thing is, discipline, when combined with hope, that's a potent combination. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about here. Because it's one thing to be in a state of fear, to be in a state of hopelessness, to be kind of, having given up on life, on your health, on whatever. And then trying to push yourself to do something because you're like, what's the point? Really, what's the point? I was at the point where where death was so close by, like if not literal death, then figurative death. Like I was so close to just being, a couch potato at home for the rest of my life. I couldn't work, I couldn't go to school, I couldn't socialize, I couldn't even have sex. Like life was bleak, and life was really difficult for me during that period. And I certainly know, and I'm certainly aware that I'm not alone in feeling this way, and in being this sick, or having been this sick. I'm now in thriving health that I could never have imagined just a few years ago. But the thing is, as soon as you find something that works, that truly works, then discipline becomes more or less a supplement. Like you'll want discipline to get you to take things even further, but it's the hope that pushes you forward. It's the hope that motivates you. And it's even a step further than hope in some sense. Like when I started seeing this healing, my hope turned into certainty. Like I had hope. Obviously when you discipline yourself to push, even when things seem incredibly hopeless, there's still like, I don't think you can actually find a discipline unless there's just a glimmer of hope. Like there needs to be a tiny bit of hope. Otherwise, why would you do it in the first place? Like why would you find the energy to do it? How would you find the energy to do it? So I think this is something that's important to keep in mind. It's not like you're gonna have to fight yourself to follow this protocol, to follow this journey of healing every single day until you're fully healed. It's not like that. It is difficult to begin with when you're finding that certainty, when you're seeing, like when you're just testing it out and you're seeing like, will this work or will it fail like everything else I've tried? But once you get started, once the ball starts rolling, once you get a little bit of distance on this path, you'll start to realize like, this is working. Everything else has failed. This is working. I'm actually starting to see some healing. I'm actually seeing a difference in the way I feel day to day. And that's just incredibly powerful, that healing momentum that you get going. And it just opens so many doors, because it's not just the hope for finally being healthy, it's everything that's associated with that. Like, when I started getting healthy, I was like, wow, I can start working out again. And I started working out like a maniac. And it certainly didn't hurt that fasting is one of the absolute most potent and powerful ways to increase your human growth hormone and testosterone. So I was building and packing a lot of muscle in the period following my healing period. So I took a period where I was just incredibly skinny. I burned every ounce of fat that I had on my body, on my frame, and I healed completely. And I do believe that there are a lot of toxins that build up in the fatty tissues. And as you burn through it, you also burn these toxins and get rid of them from your body. And that's something to be aware of as well. Like, you do want to burn as much fat as you possibly can while you're in this period of healing, and then rebuild those, because the fat cells technically aren't burned up. It's just the energy stored within the fat cells. The fat cells just keep going. They are regenerated at some point, I think, I can't remember, like every few years or every few months or whatever. Doesn't really matter. What matters is that you're not burning the fat cells themselves. You still have fat cells, they just are depleted. And as you start eating again, if you follow my protocol and simplify your diet to include only the foods that you can digest effectively, and if you're dealing with autoimmune issues, you will most probably have a lot of problem foods that are exacerbating your illness. And as you learn to identify these foods and remove them from your diet and stick to foods, simple, whole, natural, preferably organic foods, your body will finally be able to rest in a state of regeneration. And this is key. This is key to healing. Your body will no longer be in this, kind of constant anxious state where, what's he going to give me to eat next time? Like, will it be something that'll inflame me again? And you'll be constantly in this state of fighting problem foods. And instead you'll get into a state of, okay, so I can digest this. This isn't causing any trouble. I can focus my energies, and I'm talking as the body now, obviously. I can focus my energies on healing what is broken. That's the state you want to get into. And that's the state you will get into when, when the hope and the certainty starts to kick in. And it's no longer a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Like, how long until I'm healed? And believe me, it doesn't have to take so long. It's a few months. For me, I was in a state that almost brought me to trying to say this as in as PC a way as I can. Like, I was so close to the edge of my will to live, so to speak, due to my terrible state of health. Like, I was just in such a bad state. But as the hope kicked in, as the certainty kicked in, like, everything started to change. And there's like an avalanche of healing that starts. You can't really stop it even if you wanted to. Like, I couldn't stop myself from fasting anymore, because I was just like, every day I fast is another day where I heal. And the healing was exponential. So every single day I was healing more than the day before. And when you get to that sort of exponential growth, exponential healing, you can't stop. You won't stop. Why would you stop? And this is just such an incredible place to be in. And I'm just getting goosebumps just thinking back to that time, the hope that I felt for life. And it's kind of funny and interesting in a way that I kind of fell back into the sort of apathy. Like, I had a lot of apathy this last year, where I was thinking a lot, like, what's the point? Like, what's the point in life if governments and pharmaceutical companies and news agencies are all gonna conspire against human beings and human health? But, you know, when everything is considered, I still have my health, I still have my mind, and I still have my experience, which is something that I can use to help other people who are in the same sorry state that I was in. Now, I don't want to make this video much longer. This has been a short video on what to expect, more or less mentally, when you start on this journey and you start seeing real healing. You know, just be aware of this avalanche of healing that's coming for you. It's amazing, and it will save your life. Now, if you enjoy my stuff, please like and subscribe. Please share wherever you can, just to whoever you think could benefit from this. If you know people like friends or family who are dealing with chronic illness, and who you see are just suffering and they need something, and doctors are failing them as they always do. Pharmaceutical companies are failing them as they always do. They're weak, they're stupid. They have nothing to offer except death and destruction. So the more people that we can help to get out of that vicious cycle that we're all being kept in, we're being kept sick, we're being kept stupid and overweight and weak, and it's terrible. Terrifying. It is terrifying. The more people that we can get out of this vicious cycle, the better. So please share my stuff. Please check out my books, Health Simplified and Mind Reclaimed. I go into a lot of depth on many of the issues that I talk about on this channel. Finally, check out my website as well, joyofawareness.com. There you will find a lot of articles where I talk about these issues and many more. You will certainly enjoy them. And yeah, I want to say some final words here, some words of wisdom, but nothing's coming to mind. So I'll just say, stay healthy, you know, get on it, just do the work. You know, it will reward you 1,000-fold. The rewards are exponential as you do this work. And, you know, sooner than you can imagine, you'll be in an amazing place where you're just like, wow, I was able to overcome these issues that I was told by all of the leading experts that are chronic and insurmountable, and that I'll have to be like taking drugs and doing their treatments for the rest of my life. I was actually able to overcome that. So if that's true, what else is true? If what they were saying was false, then what else is false? How many lies have been spun around me all my life? You know, and once you're at that point, you know, it's scary and it's exhilarating at the same time. And, you know, I'm still figuring things out. I figured out a lot of things, but, you know, I have 95% of the world left to figure out. And, you know, it's exhilarating. It's awesome. And once you have your health back, there's so much that you can do with your life. And I just hope to God that you will get to enjoy it the way I'm enjoying it. So I'll just say peace and keep healthy, yeah?